Okay, welcome back to this broadcast where we discuss about Coach Tembo and his life over the years. Our last episode, we ended when he was in high school and was telling us a thing or two of how life was. However, we are back in December. I remember the last time we talked about you didn't know when your birthday was.
Yeah.
So at least now you let us know the year, or not the year, but the date where we can tell you happy birthday. Coach Tembo, welcome back and say hi to our viewers.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, viewers. Indeed, I also want to welcome you to our episode, I think number 3.
Yes,
number 3. And yes, it's been long. Sincerely speaking, we've been missing you. I also know you've been missing us. But of course, just like you said last time, I was talking about the confusion I had on my birthday, and then those last days I had in high school. Finally, I came to realize that my birth date is 24th December.
The day before Christmas.
Exactly, that eve of Christmas. And year 1982. And 1982, when it was checked with my first passport, it has some other year. Just like I told you, that's when I was called on the national team under 20. And just like it has been a habit, we indeed said we shall also talk about that, of age cheating.
Okay.
So my
I think that's the year that we were going for that CAF tournament. Was it in Tanzania?
Sekafa, yes, it was in Zanzibar. Yeah. I think that one has 1987. 1987.
All right.
And just like I'd talked about the other issue of giving me a bursary, and then failing to tell dad about it. And then exactly. One thing maybe I can remember, when I was in senior 5, remember I was too short.
Okay.
And there used to be primary competitions in Mbarara. So whenever these primary schools could play, they could end of the day make
that tournament. I think FOPA has made it a habit to coordinate with the primary section, have that tournament.
I think that's what now FOPA has done. But of course, during those days, after primary schools playing, so the coaches could get the best from these other primary schools, and then they form one team that's going to present to represent the whole district. But remember me, I was in senior 5. So these coaches, by then of course there was a lot of manyanga in football. So these coaches
now, but it's a bit
exactly.
On a low, but
so what the coaches could do, those primary coaches, they could now look for secondary footballers who could fit in their teams.
Okay.
And of course by that time they could for you to qualify to play for a primary school or under, they used to measure the weight
and the height.
Exactly. So automatically for me, with height,
what do they do this? Because I remember you have been part of the under was it under 14 tournament that was organized in Jeru?
Yes.
What is the criteria these
days? They just look at documents. Okay. But also others, they look at the face and they're like, this face cannot be 14, 15. But of course, that does not actually disqualify you for as long as the documents are saying otherwise.
Okay, so they're still saying?
So that those days, you stand there, they bring that car measuring, is it a tape or whatever, and they're like, now for your height, go. Then you go on the mizani there. So for me, they were not even bothering to, for you go. Because I was too small, too short. Yeah. I think that. But not knowing that the person now they are qualifying to go senior 5, doing the heavy Kisahili. Yeah? So that was senior 5. I played for Mbara district. In that tournament was in Iganga. And I remember playing football and volleyball.
Okay.
But I think I'll never forget in Iganga that time. That was 1999, I think. Yes, 1999.
Okay.
As we were playing volleyball, remember I told you that I was very good also at volleyball. As we were playing, I was good at spiking with my height, but I used to jump very high. and then give these good spikes.
Your agility was...
yeah. So I still remember what the fans were saying at the time.
Tell us, what did they say?
Musa don't know. Musa don't know. Musa don't have become Kuru. Musa don't. But of course, eventually we played and we reached semi-finals and were knocked out. I don't still remember the school. The district that knocked us out. Okay. In football, I think we were knocked at quarterfinals. So that was 1999. Now come 2000. So 2000 again, they came for me. Can you imagine? These guys are coming for me, but not paying me.
You just play for
fun. Yes.
I think even up to now, players or athletes they do not know their worth as regards to what they are providing. You can see it in the Uganda Premier League. You see it in the football, the volleyball, and there's no end product of a player providing a service. So they are not why.
Exactly.
Out of your knowledge,
I think it was just ignorance. Okay. I just like to say that you just don't know your worth.
Yes.
And also maybe number two, not having people to guide you. Exactly. And that's the challenge by the way.
And this brings into question the importance of physical education right now. Because I was telling someone that you need PE to be part of the curriculum A level.
Very true.
To create a career path.
Very true.
Because someone knows I'm going to be a doctor, you know the line you follow.
No, I wish also FUFA engages PE. Okay. Is it PE department?
Yes.
I think it has exactly. Yes. That would be so good. Because PE
create an educational channel to these players to understand the concepts beyond just playing and what they can offer.
So we're playing for fun. So these guys come for me again. Come and Uganda help us. And of course, I was having some other boys from some secondary school called KCC. It is in it's in Liantonde or Kanyariro, I think now it is in this district, Kiruhura district, by the way. Yes.
Is that still the Western region? Or?
Yeah, Western region, of course. Yeah. So they come for me again. Proudly, I know Uganda,
represent.
That time the nationals were in Busheni. So my dear, when we were playing,
still in primary.
Yes, yes. But of course, that's what I've told you.
I feel like that is your own region, and people have been seeing you.
And that's what I was going to tell you.
Yes.
That very year, I had played in that very district, the Kakungulu qualifiers, the so-called Uganda Cup currently. On that very pitch, I was there playing for Mbugu FC. Mbugu FC, Kakungulu tournament. So they had seen me in that tournament.
Okay.
Now that very year again, they see the same face, but this time in primary school.
I'm trying to think where was the thought process of saying I'm going back to the same area.
Now, okay, of course that one you could not even think about that.
Yeah.
So I was having some other guys, of course. Again, I remember Baguma was some other short boy, but in secondary, very good player. Igam, the rest I think I no longer remember. So we played our first match very well. Second match, third match, the fourth match, problems came. So as we were playing, the referee stopped the game. The referee stopped the game. For us, we didn't know what was happening. We thought maybe there was some injury somewhere. Maybe they want to attend to a player. etc. We all stood and
looked at him.
What we saw next? What policemen entering the pitch. I will never forget that moment.
Did you take off?
My friend. No, surprisingly, me, I was okay. They did bad actually. But the others.
They spotted the other people.
My God. What I wish you were there. Seeing how players were sprinting off the swamp area.
Their escape route.
My dear, I will never forget that day.
Was that a turning point for you?
Of course. Yes, of course. Because actually, there are some boys who are caught finally and were put behind bars for some investigations.
Because of recent, I also saw Reverend Canon also checking someone's leg and look at this board.
Yes, when we were for East African Games.
Yes.
Yeah, it happened even that time. Some boys were put behind bars. Investigations were done, but of course they were saved by some strong head teachers at the time. And for me, I was now left to play volleyball. remember, for me, I survived the other thing of football. And I was surprised because the whole of that region, people knew me there. But of course, this is Mbarara now. We are representing Mbarara. We are playing. So Mbarara and Bushenyi were, like, after all, these are
boys.
Exactly. So probably that's why they did not report my yes. But now I said no, I will not risk going for football again. I decided to play only volleyball. But I can assure you, in my vacation, that was 2001. These people again came for me, and I told them, please, enough is enough. So that was the end of my high school, 2001. Because now I felt like I should now start my football career. The journey now has to start fresh.
Okay.
So I came to Kampala. My dad was still working as a policeman and was in Naguru barracks. When I
was this your second time to Kampala or now?
No. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So
okay.
I met one of my brothers, Rashid Kakine, was already working these ends. So he introduces me to Britannia FC. I started training those guys. At the same time, again, training with Naguru FC. Then sometimes with the Police FC. By that time, it was being coached by the late Paula Hasula. I think I did not spend a lot of time there with them because
Britannia.
So Britannia, there's a factory called Britannia. I think makes these Britannia biscuits. Yes.
So it used to be in a white and red.
Exactly. Yeah. So they had a football team, and I think I was playing in a regional, something like that. So my brother introduces me to those guys, and they said, "Come and start training." So started training with them. Then eventually they offered me a job. I remember I was in my vacation now.
Okay.
So that day they gave me a job. It's the same day I fired myself.
What happened?
So I get the factory. We had training in the evening and I was so tired. So I get the factory and they gave me the work of is it packing the biscuits, so machine you put in the box, blah blah blah. My dear, I worked from, I remember, 7 p.m. up to 7 a.m. Not resting.
That was a night shift.
Yes, when I got home, I said, no.
This is not for me.
This is not for me. No, this is not for me.
And I also share some experience in similar fields where they take you to do something. And
yes.
It's really,
so I said, no. Let me just concentrate on my football and just like I've told you, the first day they gave me the job is the first day I also fired myself.
Resigned.
So yeah, and actually I even left the team. So I got the mind of let me join some other club.
Okay.
So because I had that thirst for I loved football so much. I said let me move around Kampala. I remember I was not all that Mutaka in Kampala, I was.
You're not familiar with the place.
Exactly.
Still,
but at least I knew where Lugogo was.
Okay.
So I got to Lugogo.
And I think by then it still had so many pictures people talk about.
Exactly. Exactly. Because the pitch where I found this new home now, new club, was this pitch that is where the current is it ShopRite?
Yeah, where
exactly. So that was Chinatown. So I found the KCC. What's it called? KCC Cubs, KCC Lads.
I think it was Cubs.
The Cubs or Lads?
For the under
of KCC Senior. This was now KCC Junior. And I remember it was coached by Coach Kadidi. So I get there. I asked for permission to join the training. They allowed me. After allowing me, of course, these Kampala boys, first look at you as if you are a stranger, a very good stranger, and a threat to them. But of course, coach had allowed me. I started training with them the first day, second day, week. Second week, now the boys started loving me. I remember they even nicknamed me Ndiefi.
What does that mean?
Ndiefi was a Nigerian right attacker, and he was a very fast player, a very good V-bowler. So by then, I was almost having the same qualities of DFE. He was also a short guy. So yeah, so they nicknamed me DFE. And I enjoyed the name, by the way. I remember even I used to write it on my what? DFE. So that was my second week. Third week, a month, we started playing friendlies with the senior team. And my performance was so good. But the problem was the height. Okay. Yeah, that's the height. But the coach liked me. The players liked me. But eventually, because now we're almost towards now joining university, I left. I joined
you didn't feature for them in any
I didn't, apart from the
where does this little story that was written about you, in one of the dailies where you brought yourself to be part of the Sekapa team?
Now that comes a little bit later because that was now 2003. Oh, okay. Yeah. Here we are still 2001. Exactly. 2001. Exactly. So I joined the university. It's MAKERERE University. And MAKERERE University, I was attached to Lumumba House. So Lumumba House, you know, they always have these interhalls. Yeah. So I started training at MAKERERE College Pitch there. Without even knowing my house, by the way. It's these guys of Lumumba who saw me training and they asked me which hall, because after all, me I was a private student. So I told them I'm in Lumumba. I said, tufunye Musambi. No problem. Were happy. Yeah. Exactly, they were happy. So I started training with them. Now time comes. These are the guys from Micho. They come for me. And they had also seen me the same pitch. So these guys started brushing me, you know, what? Said, why? Anyway, because I didn't know anything. I said, okay, let me go with Micho. So Micho takes me. Now, the day I will never forget is this. We were playing, it was Micho with the University Hall, if I've not forgotten. I think it was University Hall. So we went for, you know, some small meeting, then read the lineup. Well, actually at Micho Hall. They made the lineup, then I was on the first lineup. Dressed up, they gave me uniform, etc. And we took some small van there to the pitch. Reaching the pitch, started warming up. So as we were almost starting, someone comes to me, a player, I think I was the captain, and was like, why musajja? Kakati, wali aze, soko mwemo ku uniform, katugoja kuja luvanyuma. It's like, what's this now? But remember, I'm still a village boy who is still, you know, humble. I said, okay, I remove my shirt. I thought maybe for the short I will remain with it. Remove the shirt. Said, remember, we had left everything the other side. Here we only came
with your jerseys.
I get the point. So I said, I short. I give him the short. Guess what? I remained in my small boxer. That's the day I said, to hell with the university football. I felt so embarrassed. So bad and embarrassed. The player, because I remember what I remained in.
Weren't there cheerleaders? Because
they were there, of course, you know, university things.
Because I look at I was at Tembo. Yeah. I also played Interhall. But I'm looking at the setup back then, because currently it's a bit different. True. The spectrum of you now undressing, you are there.
Oh my dear.
This player, that maybe
it was terrible for me. It was terrible for me. And that day he didn't give me. Actually, I just remained in my boxer and my playing boots. Because when the stockings had been taken, nothing. I mean, it was that's a moment I'll never forget in my life at MAKERERE University. And the following day I disappeared. Remember, I had no phone. I know that maybe they will look for me. But I used to come and watch games when they were playing. So that is how I ended my football at MAKERERE University. Anyway, later on I still dropped out of MAKERERE University and I joined
what happened?
What happened?
You were dropping out because we had you in Kawempe.
Yeah.
But you told us. So now, what happens in MAKERERE?
In MAKERERE, what happened in MAKERERE? My dad tells me no more tuition.
Oh, I understand.
So I was like, now what next? What do I do? But what I did was to go back to Kawempe Muslim. This is a story that people may not believe. So I went back to Kawempe Muslim. I told her, you know what? If there's no more tuition, let me go back to secondary again, repeat senior 6.
Okay.
So that I get points for government sponsorship. So I got back to, Dad of course accepted. And I told him to escort me. And indeed we went together with that up to Kawempe Muslim. Remember, just like I told you before, that I was there in Form 5 and left. So this time I'm coming back.
Form 6.
So we met Hajmatov. By then was still the head teacher there with Dad. We talked to him, the issue at hand, and we requested him to allow us repeat senior 6. Hajmatov refused. He said, in Kawempe we don't do that. You have to come through our
system.
So like that was like, this young man was here in Form 5. Then Hajmat was like, but he left. And in most cases, we make our assessment on students in senior 5, not in senior 6. That again added that, you see, he had gotten some good points, much as he was not given government at MAKERERE. But because I've been having challenges of, yes, so that's why we came with this decision. Hajmatov refused. He said, we cannot do that. You know what I say? I told him, I said, Haj, if it is possible, please admit me in senior 5. You imagine from university, senior 6 that refused, now you want to go back to Form 5. Haji Matovu, now Dr. Matovu, currently refused. They said, no, we don't do that.
Setting principles.
Said, but Haj, I was here in Form 5. He said, yes, but we can't do that. So he said, but I'm going to help you. Do you know Chilili? Said yes. Said, so this, let me write for you.
Recommendation.
Yes, you go and join Chilili. And not in Form 5, but Form 6. So we accepted the offer. And he wrote the work. So we got back home. They started buying some small stuff to go with, etc. So the following morning was supposed to leave for Chilili. I think Chilili is in PG. But I can assure you that night, I thought about it as like, how Tembo from a university to senior 6 Kawempe refused to join. Then I go to Chivivi. Deep in the village, I said, no. I'm not going back. So Mzee in the morning wakes me up and like, my friend, wake up, prepare yourself and we go. I told Mzee, you know what? No. I'm not going anywhere.
I think that's where we're going to start from in our profession, so that people hear about where you
yes,
the decision
exactly.
to the next thing.
Yeah.
We need to leave them with a cue, capture them, come back. Yeah, we thank our viewers for having taken time to be part of this, and like and subscribe to our channel. Coach Tembo, you have a channel also on YouTube. I saw you develop some.
Yeah, Tembo Pro TV.
Yeah, and he's also having a TikTok channel where he promotes different Kiswahili and different learning methods for the subject. So if you have time, what's your TikTok account?
Just Tembo.
Yeah, type in Tembo and then you see and like and follow and interact with the socials. So I'll be back with the fourth.
The fourth, actually.
Yeah, it will be the fourth episode of Coach Tembo's life as a footballing star in Uganda and the different lives he has touched. Thank you all, and like and subscribe our channel.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.